Howdy and aloha, everyone. This is James with Mana Talk. It is Social Media Sunday, and sometimes I have it on Saturday. Anyway, I've also been following this divide between MAGA, and there's MASA, and then there's MAHA, and then I call MAFA, MAFA. Make America First Again. And then there seems to be a sect of people that make America Israel again. It could be Ma'ia. Anyway, it's all been pretty nuts this past week. I think we're on day 41 or 2 or something of the shutdown, which I will explain to you exactly why that is happening. Because it doesn't seem like Mike Johnson and the Demoncrats, the Republicans, are telling or conveying or portraying or painting or just using layman terms in cartoons, for God's sakes, at this point. What's really happening to why this shutdown started and why the Demoncrats created it. And the fingers are pointing back and forth. We all know that the government, this is the longest shutdown in the history of the United States, I guess. And then we also know that they're pointing fingers at each other. It's just constant. So if you're on the left, you support the left, you truly believe and you truly think and you truly, absolutely, willfully are engaged in that narrative, that talking point of it's the Republicans. And the same thing goes with the Demoncrats. But the truth of the matter is, I'll just kind of show you. Let's jump over here to some social media. Oh, let's watch this first. This is Trump going to a football game. He's like, oh, man. Because I'm going to a football game. But I'm going to fly directly, high above. And you can see the flaps are down, which means he's almost in a way of even being so low that he could just land at that point. But that's pretty cool, right? The guy just says, get as close as you freaking can. Get as close as you can. I never tried to do a impersonation. I'm not like the impersonation guy. But he's going, okay, this is what I want you to do. I want you to fly as close as you can to those lights. Don't hit them, but just get as close as you can. I want everybody to see me waving and doing my dance. Yeah, that's what he's doing. It's not high. It's not that high. Yeah. Wow. That is pretty close. The camera they got is able to take that kind of shot. I'm pretty sure it's much higher. But that was pretty fucking cool. All right. I'll get back to some stuff that Trump is doing. But I wanted to show you this. And I always pay attention to Hawaii. Commissioner's not curious as to where 19,000, now remember there's 1.6, or it's like the same amount of people in West Virginia. It's as beautiful. Well, it's back in Hawaii, it's better. But the amount of people there, so 19,000 ballots is a lot. That's a lot of ballots. So they're trying to figure out where all these came from. So HRS 1.75, gosh, not duties of the Elections Commission: investigate and hold hearings for receiving evidence. So they're questioning it, and they can't find it, and they don't want to fucking know. There's a bunch of Demoncrats that are running the show over there. And it's just, it's corrupt as heck. We know. Canada's fucking gone. I think we'll be taking it over pretty soon. Or, excuse me, they'll be handing themselves to us very soon. Remember I said that. Who are they talking about? Who are those lying sacks of shit? It's these people. You see those... I'm going to zoom in on this because I really want you to understand what's going on. That's CNN or MSNBC or who knows. That's PBS or something. That's Fox. Who knows? All these fuckers. CNN right there. I think that's somebody else. I'm not sure who that is. But the point is you don't have the power to show... Wait, let me rephrase that. You don't have the money to pay off and supply these political pundits and these narrators and these commentators and these news reporters and these investigative fucking journalists to tell them what to say. But Big Pharma does. The military-industrial complex does. Our government does. Right? And you guys have been played for a long time. For fucking a long-ass time. You don't pay their bills. They don't give a shit about you. They're going to say what they're told to say and how to say it and when to say it. You've seen the scripts when you see all these ABC, all these NBC, all these CBS, all these BBC, all these, and even newsprint, LA Times, New York Times, Associated Press is just a bunch of asshole press people. NPR. Most of their money comes from the people that are destroying your lives. Most of the money that pays these people and pays to keep these giant studios, these billion-dollar studios open with this luxurious seats and counters. This is not AI. They do have, and they started some AI, but I've had this picture up for a long time. They don't give a fuck about you. And why you get your information from them and why you believe them is the most concerning part. So if you really want to know what's going on, guess what? Right? You're going to have to do a little digging. You're going to have to do a little research. You're going to have to, go down the abyss like Monotalk has been doing since 2017 and presenting information. Again, this channel just got back up after several appeals. It was down for over 4 years because I was trying to warn everybody to not take the thing. I was trying to warn everybody, well, myself and the help of Stevie with Red Economics and a few other people. We're trying, just a very few, maybe 2 or 3 people that I knew of. I mean, I'm talking James Corbett. I'm talking Ryan Christian, who was on this show. I would like to talk to James Corbett at some point on this show, which I think would be a good idea. And a few others that weren't even there. Hard Lens Media was jabbing it up. They were clueless. Jimmy Dore took 2 of them. Right? I was trying to tell everybody, hey, that thing is completely indemnified, meaning you can't sue anybody for it. They got rid of ivermectin, hydroxychloroquine. These are hard words to say sometimes. And the Johnson & Johnson regular vax that people had been getting. I actually took a vax, my flu shot, which I'd taken every, I don't know, whenever. I think I hadn't taken one in like 8 years, and I took one in November of 2019. And that was just a regular Johnson & Johnson shot. But they shot those down. The media and the government shot all that down. They took all that down so they could push their mRNA, Fluvid-19, genocidal bioweapon. Right? Genocidal. Anyway. And they did a good job because 65 whatever percent of you decided, yeah, I'm taking it. When a lot of people that usually question authority and at sources at every turn like myself and a few others were saying, there's no data, there's no tests, you guys are pushing us through. It usually takes about 10 to 15 years for a vaccine to be somewhat safe, which we're finding out now that the 40 or 80 fucking vaccines that they've been giving children aren't really what they claim to be. There's not a cure. Right? Has St. Jude's Children's Hospital that treats cancer do they have a cure? No. Does the Mayo Clinic have a cure for anything? No. There's no cure. That they're going I'll go out on a limb and say I believe there is a cure. I believe there are lots of cures for a lot of things out there. But big pharma, big hospital, big elderly care, big psychology, they don't make any money off of healthy people. They are methodically putting you in the grave. Right? They are methodically giving drugs and everything to children. It's just the poisons in our food, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Which brings me to Robert F. Kennedy Jr. and Big Pharma. And I still watch him. He's got some good stuff, for sure. And I always repost his videos. But he just, what I knew of is Trump just gave Big Pharma $35 billion. Right? I mean, I don't know what kind of deal he's making with those guys, but it's probably not the people you want to buddy up to. Which he seems to do. It's just... you've got to understand, and everybody, you can see it, you can feel it, you can sense it, you just know it. The guy's got gold everywhere, because everybody has gold plating all over their fucking houses, right? The guy's an eccentric millionaire, right? He's not a multi-billionaire. He's only worth about $5 or $6 billion. Compared to like Elon Musk, who has a nice house, but he just doesn't. Trump it's the art of the fucking deal, right? If he's able to move money around, make this person it's like a what was that Pretty Woman? That guy, Richard Gere. He was mergers and acquisitions. And what he does is he'll buy a company and that's failing, and he'll build it up or fix it, and then he'll resell it. And Trump knows about that. It's like flipping a house. And Trump and his father have been doing this for a long time. His great-grandfather was just a hair cutter. He owned a parlor and cut hair. And then his son, Trump's dad, goes out and starts to be innovative, an entrepreneur, worked his ass off, built his empire, raised some good kids, and he raised Donald Trump. But the thing about Trump is he's got to be around this financial movement. He has to be a part of it. And sometimes I think, and hopefully he's listening to me, because it would be good that he is. Not that I don't know, I really don't know that much about how money works, right? Obviously, I'm not in a giant mansion with gold plastered everywhere. But I've owned property twice. I've lived it up many, many times, and it's not like it's not going to happen again. But let's get back to the story. As I'm saying, is he kind of needs to understand this very important thing. Not everybody is interested in the Rolls Royce, right? I'm okay with a 1989 Dodge Ram 4x4 diesel with a Cummins engine. But I would fucking love that, because I don't trust the chips or the process of the chips and the computers that are in vehicles, and it started happening in the early 90s, late 80s when they started putting those in there. So, that's just me. I would be happy with a big old truck like that, a house, big old house, 100 acres of property. Give me a little place in Hawaii, a condo. I'm fine with that. Little house up there, probably next to Waikiki, because that'd be fun to surf. And I'm good. And I'm good. And I'm good. Okay? And just be able to travel Egypt and all this other stuff that's still on my list. I've got a bucket list, believe it or not. I've been in a lot of places, but there's a lot of places I still want to go. I don't want to go to London. I could care less about fucking London. I can care less about France, but if some hot chick is with me, then I'll take her to France. But all I'm saying is he's making deals to make money, and I know he's doing it for us, but at the same time, he needs to not make a deal sometimes. That's my point. Sometimes certain deals with certain people and certain companies aren't necessary and not a good public relations exhibition. It's not a good move. And when it comes to big pharma, yeah, you got to be careful with these fucking people. Now, he just trashed. Sorry, I had it on there. He just trashed big insurance, and I have that. Let me go over here. And Jimmy was talking about it. Oh, shit, I'm going to have to get my glasses on. Hang on a second. Hang on. Got to get that. 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 Got to get those glasses on. All right. Oh, this is funny. You got to watch this. So I'm watching this chick has people out there taking videos of these Demoncratic, woke, crazy fucking protests here and there and everywhere. And this one is about the furries. It's we should probably watch it later. It's fucking, I was just like, are you fucking kidding me? Are you fucking kidding me? We'll get to that. Newsom, okay. I went to New York City. This is Kai Trump's channel. She's a golfer. Listen, young lady, I need everybody to know this, especially Donald Trump Jr. If your daughter is out there cruising around in New York City, it's not a good idea, buddy. And it's not going to be a good idea in just a few months at all. I think this is before Mamdani was illegitimately elected, and that's going to come out. Maha wins. No, Maha isn't winning if you're fucking giving him money, bro. You're doing a good job, but I got to say, where the fuck is the tallow? Where's the tallow, bro? There's like 3 restaurants, and there's no tallow. What the fuck? Anyway, Trump hands $35 billion. Here it is right here. Trump hands $35 billion to Big Pharma for fat pills. Right? I mean, this is so contradictory. Just these two YouTube videos. One's 3 minutes and 53 seconds long, and the other one's 18.29 minutes long. And it's just, it's like they're moving forward. There's a lot of stuff. Look, I'm going to say this, and I always say this. Donald Trump is a fucking workhorse. There's no doubt. Let me get to that. What I was talking about before. Oh, look, the pipe bomber. I don't think that's her. I think she knows who it is. The ballroom. Oh, you got to watch the plans on that. I'll probably get back to that. Panic, negotiating Mondami's Trump attack and free bus scam just blew up in his face. Right? Alex Jones warns Trump he's walking into a trap. He's like I said, he's very I don't know, trusting. And he's really needs to vet every fucking person around him. Family, friends, I don't care. There's some fucked up people out there, buddy. His daughter Ivanka, man, she's something's going on with her. I never get a good feeling about her sometimes. No one saw this coming. Okay, yeah. That was funny. JD Vance about government shutdown. Oh, RFK bolts out of the room with the big. This happened too. This is yesterday, or the day before, a couple days ago. During that big exchange with Big Pharma, one of the pharma guys just passes out because they don't know how to stand. They never stand. They're always sitting. If you've been in the military, you know how to stand. That's all I have to say for a long time. Fake females, Leonardo Joni. I recommend watching her. She's fucking hilarious, beautiful, and does some good reporting. She reminds me a lot of Stevie. I'm telling you. Red alert, nationwide lockdown test, flights canceled. That's hustle, bitch. Body language, Erica Kirk, not a good. I watched a little bit of this. I'm telling you, it's just stuff's not adding up with that. Woke is not back. You're a retard. That's pretty much it. Candace twists the knife. Yeah. Kind of getting off course here a little bit because there's so much to go over. But I want to take you here. Religions out there. There's some good ones. There's some weird ones. There's some great ones. In the name of Christianity, how many people have been killed? Take a guess. Billions, millions. Who knows? In the name of Islam, how many people have been killed? Hinduism, a little different. I don't think they're very vicious, but they have killed people and been in wars. But I mean, that's just to me is just retarded. It's just fucking retarded. What people haven't seen, and I should show you the pictures, but you can look them up. Go look up Iran in the 70s, in the 80s. Go look up Egypt or Pakistan or Pakistan or Uzbekistan, or just look up a lot of heavy Muslim countries back in the 70s, 80s. They were wearing tank tops and short skirts and hanging around and having a good time. They went and did the religious things. But there's some extremism out there. It's just a little too much. It's just, in my opinion, just a little too much. I actually have some weird information. Let's see what else I got here. Oh, get a snapshot of this one. 5 Tylenol alternatives already in your kitchen. If pharmaceutical companies cured you, they would go bankrupt. There it is. I told you that earlier. I mean, that's a great meme. All right, here we go. Christmas isn't too far away. Instead of worrying what's under the tree, be grateful for who's still around it. Yeah, seriously. Yeah. And then here we go. Ozempic creators. I mean, what the fuck did we just see here? Wait. Are you guys watching? Wait, hold on. I didn't even show that to you. But what the hell we're just seeing here? I was just talking about the fat pills. I was talking about the fat pills, and I was talking about the 35 million or billion that just went to big pharma. Well, there's 2 billion of those dollars in that lawsuit are obviously going to pay some people that have had definite problems. It's like I'm saying, Trump just these. I think it's the snap judgment thing I get with him. It's like he confers with this person and that person, this guy and that guy. It's like, dude, let's take 2 or 3 days on each decision. Do some serious research. I'll have my people research. I'll have that. Sometimes you got to make that snap decision. I get it. You're the president of the United States. You have to put the country and its people above everything, which is your job. So, by doing that and by knowing that, you have to do it. And this is where, he kind of steps on his own dick here. There's some others here. I'm just going to go down here. Because it is Social Media Saturday. Oh, yeah. Sydney Sweeney just fucking disgraced this woman that was trying to pry into her political views. She's like, nah, I can get that shit out of me. Fuck off. Right? That woman basically tried to end her career. And that's bullshit. She's like, fuck you, asshole. That look in her face is like, you little bitch. Yay, by the way, University of Hawaii, I think, is going to their first bowl game. They did a great job in the Mountain West. They beat San Diego 38-6, which is very good. Let me give you a little history here. Auschwitz Nazis, actually high-ranking military personnel of Hitler's Third Reich, that claimed that they escaped from Hitler's prison camps, but were intentionally implanted in the United States. There's a few of them here. There's just a few, right? Adolf Hausen, NATO's chief of staff. Kurt Waldenheim, Secretary General of the United Nations. Warren von Braun, head of NASA. Walter Hallstein, head of EU communication. They were, abroad. But were intentionally planned in the 40s and 50s. Most of them created NATO, and all their lineage and offspring are now in very high-level positions of our government, Hollywood, and, of course, social media. It's easy to spot them. They are well connected to the World Economic Forum, the World Health Organization, the Council on Foreign Relations, BlackRock, Chatham House, and various NGOs or non-governmental organizations, aka these foundations that are out there. And it's everywhere. I mean, if you need more information, like I always say, if you're like, what? Just leave a comment. I'll send you the information when I get time. And yeah, this is for the feminists out there. It started when we were able to watch TV. I think that's when this started, right? I don't know if... Look, there are women out there that... how do I say this? Because I always think about the water they drink, the drugs they've taken, the poisonous food that they've been eating. It takes away from that primal self. I really believe that. And there's a lot of people out there that are so biologically poisoned that they start thinking things that are just really not natural or grounded naturally. And I'm not saying this is the way it should be for all women, but there are some women out there that are very happy. Maybe they work part-time, maybe they work full-time, but they love their family, they love their husband, they love doing, I mean, I've been there. I've seen it. It's fucking wonderful, right? And then somebody fucks up. That's usually what happens. Somebody just doesn't use their words and just goes off and fucks around and finds out. That's pretty much what happens. Imagine what they're now going to be allowed to do in your city. This is New York. Yeah, so this crazy left arrest after destroying a TPUSA table at the University of Iowa. So this is in Iowa. Hey, she just walks up and fucking dumps it. They're just there. And they didn't beat her up and they didn't go after her. They reported her and used the law. But I want you to imagine I want you to imagine what's going to happen in New York. From the next 3 to 6 months, if Mandami is not removed because of some illegal things in regards to his citizenship, anyway, it's gonna turn into shit. That's all I'm telling you. It's gonna turn into shit. Oh, here's some receipts right here. Oh my god, I gotta show this. How in the fuck is this piece of shit who assisted in burning down Maui? And I was all over him. I was all over him. Oh, dude, you're a traitor. You're this. He's still the mayor. This is what's so retarded. Hawaii is so indoctrinated. These people over there are so fucking indoctrinated. How in the fuck is this criminal still on the island of Maui and not in a federal prison? That's the best question. And this guy is going to seek re-election, even though he let the fucking city of Lahaina get burnt down. I mean, what the fuck? This is insanity. It's insanity. Oh, here it is. I'm going to read this to you, only because I need to show you the reason why we're in a lockdown. If I can get it to click on the right fucking thing here. I want to get the whole thing. Right? Because Nick was out there interviewing somebody. But take a snapshot if you need to. And this is it. This is the fucking talking point. Right? This is the talking point. Right here. Alright. Whatever you're hearing, whatever you've been told, and whatever the mainstream media keeps pushing, it's all because of the Democratic Party, losing possibly trillions from USAID and some of their other money. So many other ridiculous programs that we're recently finding out were all just fronts. They were all just fronts to launder money back to the Democrats. Hold on. Why is this so blurry? I need better glasses. These things are all scratched up. They're so old. They've been doing this for decades, and that's why you don't have Medicare for all. And that's why Roe versus Wade hasn't been codified. And that's why you don't have free college, and that's why you have war after war after war under Demoncratic presidents. Remember, I was a Democratic supporter for Obama and then Bernie Sanders. And then I finally realized that the Russia crap against Trump was a complete pre-orchestrated and manufactured lie, which is what they've been doing for decades. They're just theater, continuously promising you everything and delivering to you absolutely nothing. And yes, I would be lying to you if I didn't say that there are some corrupt Republicans as well, such as Mitch McConnell, Lindsey Graham, and a few others. But one party was about to hand this country over to the globalist predator class, which I've explained countless times, and the other didn't want to go in that direction of obeying the World Economic Forum, obeying the World Health Organization, or the globalist predator class and their associates. I already told you who those people were earlier. Yes, it would be nice to have 3+ parties, but what if we were all just independent voters? And we voted for people that actually wrote on paper and committed to what we want and were legally bound by what they represented and their platforms. There was a CFR done by the Democrats a while back, but that didn't go through. Their platform, and if they steer away from it, then we would get rid of them, or they would have to remove themselves from Congress. Yeah, you're not going to be able to do that when you have this two-party ping-pong match going on and on and on and on. It's ridiculous. But that's what's going on. This is part of, right, and I'll simplify it here. This is pretty much the simplification of what's going on. And I'm telling you, the Republicans just need to just put these words out so people can understand it every time they talk. The Republicans brought a clean bill. Nothing extra, nothing additional added, basically to keep the government open. There was nothing, no extra what they call pork, no extra fat, no extra nothing, not asking for any more money, whatever. But the Demoncrats added 1.2 or about 1.3 trillion to their money laundering and grifting programs. Because all they care about is money. That's what it is. That's basically what it is. That's the foundation. That's the core of it. They didn't have to add anything. See, that's what people don't understand is they didn't have to. The government would still be running. People would be getting their paychecks. Certain things would be out there. There wouldn't be a threat to aviation, planes flying in the sky, and all these other things that are needed out there through the federal government, which doesn't really seem to be that much. I do know that ever since that happened, I haven't seen a single chemical fucking trail in the sky. Not one. And for 40 days, everybody's reporting the same thing. I'm not saying, but not in blue states. The red states that had them aren't seeing them anymore. Isn't that interesting? Isn't that interesting? I mean, it's been clear. I've looked like just, I don't know, 2 or 3 months ago, I was looking at the moon. And the moon had this eerie silver lining around it. And it had been that way for like, I don't know, months and months and months, maybe a year or so. I'm not sure. But it seemed to have been getting worse. But there are chemtrails and there are vapor trails. There's a difference. Okay? There's a difference. Maybe this interview kind of shows that. Hang on a second. But the bottom line is this. Let's keep it open. Keep it going. We'll negotiate other things later. So what happened is the Demoncrats jumped in and said, nope, we're not going to do any of this. We're not going to get you the 60% of the votes, etc., until we get our money back, until we get our USAID money back, until we get money back for woke shit and stuff that we can't launder, that we need to launder money for. That's exactly what they did. That's exactly what they're doing. That's exactly it. It has nothing to do with you. Has nothing to do with you. To help you. They just want their money back. They lost a lot of fucking money. Trump pulled a lot of their programs, right? Some of you people may have gotten money from that grifting and money laundering corrupted scam. Fuck off. You shouldn't, you're just part of the problem. So that's basically it. All right. Oh, wait, what's this? Breaking. 86% of PCR positive COVID cases were not infections. New study finds that during the early pandemic period, only 14% of PCR COVID cases were real, providing that lockdowns and vaccine mandates were built on a fraudulent testing illusion. I pointed this out so fucking thoroughly and with the help of Kerry Mullins, who created the Palmer's PCR test that surprisingly died in July of 2019. Anyway, and then they said he was an acid person. Tried to discredit him and all this other shit. But he won a Nobel Prize for the PCR test. And then he also hates Fauci. Not hates him, but just used to say Fauci's a fraud. He's been a fraud for a long time. He's not a fraud. Fauci is not a fraud if you're a pharmaceutical rep. He's the greatest pharmaceutical rep on the planet. He sold fucking Donald Trump. He sold him. He sold presidents for decades. Did a great job. Kudos to you, Mr. Salesman. Right? That's all I got to say. I wonder who was alerting everybody of this in the mid 2020s. That's what it's supposed to say. It was me and a few other people. I told you the PCR test wasn't created for what they were using it for, because it could pop positive if you had any elevation in your immune system, the way your DNA works. It elevates and triggers a certain chemicals in bodies, and this thing would pick it up. So if you had an infection, if you had a cut on your skin, if you had anything that's happened to your body, like a broken bone, it would elevate that aspect of your body, and this would pick it up and detect it. That's it. That's all it was for. And the guy got a Nobel Prize for it. So anybody that was sick of anything was fucking popping positive. It was perfect. They knew it. And they knew it. And they got people fucking scared to fucking take it. Oh, here it goes. I'm not going to get into that just yet. Turning Point USA. That was a good one. All right, so we've seen so many, and the reason why I'm showing this is because I want to point out an important piece of information. I truly believe, and I'm going to say this because the students at where I work at a university, they're not learning anything. They're not learning anything, and I'm gonna kind of tell you what's going on here. I believe that as soon as you turn 8, as soon as you're able to, 15 and a half, 16 years old, maybe you want to make some extra money, whatever the case may be, or you work for your dad, he's in construction, plumbing, or whatever, or you work at your dad's company or doing paper, whatever it is you're doing, you need to go in the working world, period. You need to be in there at least 1 or 2 years to see how life really works. You need to hear what people are thinking and saying and doing. I think that's vital for people to get that real life experience, because you can tell the difference between somebody that's been in a job for 2 years, 1 or 2 years, compared to somebody right out of high school who really doesn't know shit. And then, they think they know because, kids, they think they fucking know everything. I was there, trust me. But when they go to college, they're just taught what they're told to be taught, and whatever their elective is or whatever courses that they're taking, they're just getting that piece of information that doesn't connect with society. It connects with maybe sitting at a desk or being in a machine shop or whatever the case may be, whatever the job that they're learning. Right, but it doesn't apply to real life practical situations, and I think that's important. I think what California used to have, which was really a good program, and it's sad that they took them up, but I think this is the reason why. It was the Research Opportunity Program, ROP, and you used to get credits for getting a job, just for working. Because you were getting that life experience, learning about your paycheck, learning how to save your money, learning how to get a checking account, learning how to collaborate and work with other people, learning HR, how they work, learning, there's so many fucking things, safety and, I mean, it depends on the industry. It's just the real life practice of being in real life, I think, is so vital to kids. And there's just not enough of it. I mean, when I was a kid, I worked at a hoagie shop / pizza place when I was 15 years old. I used to deliver and install water beds in Hawaii. My favorite job, like I've always said, is I used to teach surfing and sailing and canoe lessons on the island of Oahu in Hawaii in Waikiki Beach. And I used to get mad at my dad. Why do I have to work this summer? He goes, you got to fucking work. And I'm like, okay. I was pissed that I'm out in the sunshine. I was upset that I wasn't able to go surfing with my buddies at the North Shore, the South Shore, whatever. Mostly the South Shore. At certain places, one of my favorites was Kaiser's, but I'd still go surfing. I'm teaching. I'm at Waikiki Beach, beautiful, the most gorgeous place on the planet, and I'm pissed off. What a fucking little brat, man! I swear to God. And as I look back at it now, that was the greatest job on the greatest job on the planet, and it's called being a beach boy. By the way, if you're a beach boy, you are blessed, my brother. You are fucking blessed, brother. But anyway, it's just fucking crazy. But here's the point: there are people out there that go through 2.5, 3, 4, 5, 6 years of college, but they don't learn life. They don't learn life, and I think that's important for kids to learn life. What needs to come back and what needs to be mandatory for all kids, and I'm going to tell you this, and you should agree, every kid, boy or girl, should learn how to swing a hammer, how to turn a wrench, right? How to connect a circuit or tie wires together. They should learn plumbing, carpentry, mechanics, and electricity. That's a fucking no-brainer. Everybody. And if you have kids, teach them it. Because, I mean, I've taught my kids a few things about engines. I taught my daughter, my daughter knows how to do her own oil change. I don't think she has in a while, but, and I've taught my boys how to work on engines, how to use the wrenches properly. There's like, what is this little switch on this ratchet wrench on this thing? Well, if you do it this way, it locks one way. If you do it that way, it locks the other way. So in case you want to take a bolt off, you switch it here. It'll go this way. Click, click. Zzz, zzz, zzz. Anyway, so like, whoa. Just little things like that can help kids so much. And then let mom teach the feeling stuff or whatever. But there's a lot of things that I think kids need to know, and I think that's really important. Sports for sure. Me, I'm big on sports. The great thing about my second wife, Patty, she disagreed with me on so many things. But the one thing that she gave me the honor and title of having is great at sports stuff. And look, I had 4 or 5 championships. I had Little League championships. I had National Junior Basketball championships, YMCA basketball championships, and it was a learning experience. I learned from a lot of other coaches how to motivate, not really motivate, how to entice kids to want to be there and want to have fun and want to enjoy themselves and working together and stuff like that. I think that's just huge. I think that's important too. So your kids should at some point should be in some kind of team sport, whether it's duos or whether it's volleyball or whether or in a sport period. Because let's just say if they're a golfer, it's not by themselves. The golf team is with a team, right? The chess club, it's a club. It's a bunch of people working together, right? I think that's important because you're all trying. You've got to have a competitive thing. You got to have a competitive thing with your kids. They have to want to be better. They have to want to it's a dog eat dog world. Not for Demoncrats, because they want you to be in a smart city with no cars, and they want you to be fat and poisoned and methodically dying. That's what they want. But in regards to, like for example, here, I'll just show you this. I posted this up. If I can find it right here, this is good. See if I think that's on YouTube. I'll open it in a new tab. It's probably going to be a commercial. Oh, it's not. Hey, Jordan. How you doing, buddy? Now, you need to understand what these mountain goats are doing. They are moving at 25 to 30 miles an hour with pinpoint accuracy as their feet or their hooves, right, are just fucking moving at light speed, right? So my comment in here was my dad. My dad used to make. Oh, me run. Hold on. What is that? I gotta edit that. To make. I'll just put it in there. I'll fix something. I put the wrong date on something the other day at yesterday. My dad used to make me run on lava rocks in Hawaii after running hills on sand. Why? I played football for 2 years in high school. Just 2 years. My junior and senior year in Hawaii. Only my junior and senior, I was offered a walk-on scholarship to a few D1 universities. Right? San Diego State, San Jose. I think it was the Washington Cougars. It wasn't Oregon. I think it was the Beavers. There was a couple other schools, and then University of Hawaii. And I chose University of Hawaii. Just to let you know, you don't want to fall off a jagged lava rock. You don't. It'll cut you like glass in some areas. But what that did is it helped my agility. It fine-tuned my skill as far as being quick with my feet and fast. I wasn't a super fast sprinter laterally, and for the first, 10 or 15 yards, I was gone. I could move pretty fast. I still to this day, we're at the, Eddie and I were playing golf, and the other day I did a back pedal like I used to do it being a linebacker, and we used to train like that for the DBs as well. And I did a zigzag back, and he goes, "What the fuck?" And I go, "Dude, I don't know. It's my legs. I still got legs. I don't know what it is." And he's 10 years younger than me. And he can't move like that. I mean, maybe if he really had to, but I was just doing it playing around. But these kind of things you need to teach your kids. These kind of things they need to know. If you want them to be successful, if you want them to be strong, if you want them to be able to make it in this life, this is what you want to do. That was a crock of shit. That was a giant crock of shit. And then Trump put up the receipts, which I thought was brilliant the other day, or today or yesterday. Let me grab them here. I passed it. I need to delete a bunch of shit from my computer. Where is it? Nope, that's not it. Nope, that's not it. Nope, that's not it. That's not it. Oh, here it is right here. Okay. Keep in mind that Democrats voted to fine. In other words, you were penalized financially for not buying insurance, and then conspired to give it to illegals for free. That's the current situation. So that's kind of plays in hand. This is the current situation we're facing right now. Americans cannot afford insurance, but illegals get it for free. What kind of fuckery is that? Keep in mind that Democrats voted to fine American citizens for not buying insurance and then conspire. That's basically it. I don't know why he's got it twice here. I didn't write that. But here's the savings, or who actually made out, right? And I've explained this, and I'll do it again because some of you don't get it. Obama monopolized the health insurance industry to his donors. That's it. Like the Demoncrats always do. Take care of their people, and yes, some of the Republicans do it as well. But basically, this is what their goal was to get these fucking people more money so they can then in turn turn around and do the fucking grifting, money laundering circle that you've been seeing, Ukraine, Big Pharma, Pfizer, it's all there. Major health insurance company stock performance. Let me make sure you can get that all in there. I think that's kind of a big picture. I think we got to get it all in there if we're gonna make sure you can see it. There we go. Yeah, you can see it. All right. Major health insurance company stock performance after Obamacare stock price increase from March 2010 to November 2025. This isn't normal. This increase is huge. This is quadrupling, quintupling. This is, there's a lot of stock prices that go over a duration of time will grow. But this is ginormous, and it's all because of Obamacare, which took care of these people. United Health Group, Cigna, Aetna, Humana, Molina, Centene, Aetna. All right? The stock price in 2010 was $25. November 2025 is $327. It's a big jump. That's 1,177% stock price. You'd think you'd have Bitcoin at that point. That's crazy. Right? And then go do a comparison on stock price of certain companies out there. There are certain companies, and I'm going to tell you right now, you can pick on these guys, which I think is a good idea because they're huge, but there's a lot of companies that basically are embedded with the U.S. government that have made a lot of fucking money. And their stock prices have gone up exponentially as well. So I get what he's doing. I think that's good. You've pointed out the obvious. It was monopolization. It was bullshit. It's not a good system. But what is he trying to do to fix it? What is he going to do to fix that? Well, what he does want to do, right? He's not, fuck the Peace Prize. He deserves 1,000 Peace Prizes for the shit, for the amount of wars that he stopped. But the biggest thing I wanted to point out here, what is this? Casper tells skewer Stephen A. Smith first suggestion Trump was behind NBA gambling scandal arrests. Single dumbest thing I've ever heard. No, that didn't happen. He didn't fucking know about that shit. How would he? Okay, but yeah, come on, Steve. DA, Department of Homeland Security, sees biggest jump in public approval among federal agencies. That's nice. Just received the key to the saving of mining from Mayor Francis Suarez. There you go, good. Washington Examiner, what Democrats are missing in trying to recapture young people. Lie to them, just keep lying to them like they lie to everybody else. That's pretty much it. Use the mainstream media to do it. They've been doing that for a long time. The main entrance to the new ballroom at the White House. This is supposed to be it. That's fucking amazing. That's amazing. Oh, okay. Yeah, everybody wants to get... Fuck, dude. BBC director generally knew resigned over Trump documentary edit. Yeah. Oh, I should play that for you. I think maybe I have, but, we're going to do it anyway. You know why? Because I think you need it. Make America first, man. Why is that in my list here? Is this Montauk stuff? I like watching that. That's so cool. Yeah, I went to the gym today. I need to go more. I'm golfing tomorrow. Better keep asking questions. Don't really. See, this just jumped to like 4 weeks ago. What the fuck? It just doesn't. Let's just see if this is the shorts. See, it's. Yeah, so this is turning into an interesting situation. I just wanted to show you this. Hey Cheryl, hi, I'm on Talk 101. Key Dems came into agreement to open the government. There you go. There you go. I knew it was going to happen sooner or later. And Trump actually predicted it, which is interesting because I put that on my last show. I'm like, what did he say? Like he knew it was going to happen. Trump sparks panic. Yeah, of course, they always sparks panic. Giant coward. So Nick Fuentes is challenging Ben Shapiro, which Ben Shapiro is he's Ben Shapiro to me is that piece of foreskin that's thrown in the fucking trash. The guy's, I don't know how he got where he was or what he's done, but he's always been Israel first, right? Loomer as well. And there's a bunch of them out there. And Massey is definitely America first. MTG is America first, right? This attacking these people is just getting fucking crazy. Giant coward, for sure. And he pushed out. It's just so sad. Candace Owens, the most popular show, social media platform show out there, I think, as regards to Twitter and a few others, is getting a lot of flack for keep digging into Charlie Kirk. But I'm gonna say it. None of it is making the official story sounds so as about as reputable as the 9/11 official story. It's like almost identical. Don't talk about this, don't do that. Don't look over here, look over there. It's just ridiculous. It's fucking ridiculous. And thank you for breaking that information to me, Cheryl. I knew it was going to happen soon. I played in my last video that Trump said it. Congratulations to you guys for opening up the government. He just fucking said it. It's like, did that happen today? No. This is like 2 days ago. It's like, wow, how do you know that, bro? Fucking super. Oh, what's his name? I thought, okay. All right, let's jump down. We're going to look at a couple other things over here. It's Social Media Sunday, man. Sorry you have to go through this, but you're learning something. Some of you are, at least. And I think that's important. This is good. So here's the fight that keeps Candace twists the knife. Candace hits number one and thanks Ben Shapiro for firing her. Yeah, Ben Shapiro fired Candace Owens. So now, I'm going to say this right now, Mr. Trump, you have to make MAFA first. That's make America first again. MAFA number one. Because if you keep crawling up the butt or keeping your head in the lap of Netanyahu Bibi, it's not looking good. And something the other day said that he was Jewish, Trump was Jewish. Somebody else is saying he's getting a lot of money from... But Israel, like I said in one of my videos, they don't fucking do shit for us. There's nothing they're going to do that's going to help us. They're not even necessary. They're not necessary. They're not necessary. I don't know what the fucking big deal is. Is it the diamonds? I don't know what the fuck it is. Don't make us a religious thing. But Candace Owens has got some good information. She's now crushing over Ben Shapiro. And Ben is... Look, Laura Loomer is going to be a has-been. Remember I said that. If she doesn't change her tune. Ben Shapiro is going to be a has-been if he doesn't change his tune. And a lot of people that are pro-Israel first and not America first are going to be fucking losing it. And Trump, Donald J. Trump, President of the United States, I am going to tell you now, he's not worth it. Bibi, Netanyahu, Israel's great. They've got some cool stuff over there. But it's like having that friend down the block that your mom knows if you go hang out over there, it's going to be trouble. You're going to be associated with trouble. You're going to be a part of trouble. It's guilt by association. And you don't want to be a part of that. They're just not there. And if you got to go look up his real names, I believe that Netanyahu and a few other people are the Auschwitz Nazisms. Cheryl would agree with that too, and a lot of other people, right? The Auschwitz Nazis are out there. Real Jewish people don't like any of this Gaza shit. Palestinian genocide shit. They don't. But who does? This fucking piece of shit Bibi does. And you just need to do this. Concentrate on here, please. Here. Just us, now. The damage that the illegitimate Biden administration did on you needs to be fucking first and foremost. And then you need to go after the Demoncrats, all of them, for J6, Russia, their attempted murder upon you, assassination, and all this crap. Right? Don't play these theater games. Don't get involved into any more theater games. Right? I am thankful that Donald Trump is my president right now. Because if he wasn't, there would be a man in lingerie, overweight, beard, in fucking women's lingerie in every women's bathroom in every restaurant or whatever across the United States. There would be one. At least one per day in every one. That's what we would be doing. That's not the only problem. Ukraine would probably be a full-scale war with Russia right now. That's not the only problem. There would be another 20 million illegal immigrants on their way through here. Probably another 5 million at least by now. The economy would be terrible. The country would be going down. Like I said, the Demoncrats and their job at the time, the illegitimate Biden administration, and why they were installed, and why COVID happened, and all this other shit, was to take down this country. Like others were taken down and handed over to the globalists. I set many examples of that. As a matter of fact, I need to do a show on that and how those countries were taken down. They went full on World Economic Forum, full on climate change, full on World Health Organization, and they're gone. They're a country, but they're under absolute rule and power of those NGOs, non-governmental organizations and foundations. It's happening right now. Sweden is, I think, one of them. There's a few of them. Italy may be there and a few others, but what I'm telling you right now, Canada's definitely one of them. Right? Australia's in there also. I mean, as I'm thinking about it, more and more coming to mind that have gone down that road. Very bad for them. You know, mandatory vaccine, lockdowns, just all kinds of shit. No, it's craziness. It's complete, utter tyrannical, authoritarian, communistic systems and processes, which the World Economic Forum, and go look it up. It's on their website. I've got clippings of it. It's called corporate governance. Corporate governance is the title they use, but they started pulling it because it just didn't sound right. Right? Corporate governance means that the corporations govern everything. It's kind of almost like that now, which you could say. But I would rather have the people and our votes matter. That's why we need voter IDs to come back. That's why we need people that actually are United States, born and raised, here taking the citizenship test, legal voters, instead of the Mandami crew in New York that obviously brought him in. There's going to be an investigation on that coming very, very soon. And a few other things that have happened here because of the illegitimate Biden administration. I explained many, many times. If you want to know what video that is, just let me know. I'll send it to you. But bottom line, I'm going to tell you this. Okay? Bottom line, and I think I've pretty much covered everything. I have to say, beyond a shadow of a doubt, that's crazy. That's just... that's fucking classic. Breaking: New Hampshire's first transgender elected rep, Stacey Lofton, pleaded guilty to child exploitation charges. He reportedly asked his partner, who worked in a daycare, to send him nude photos of kids. Eric Swalwell campaigning with him, and that's a Demoncrat. That's your country would be riddled with these people. Riddled, plagued. If Kamala or somehow that were to fucking happen. And he made a lot of money. Almost. I calculated over $350 billion that were made off of that scam. I have a video for it. As a matter of fact, I have a spreadsheet on it. And they kicked ass. And they did a really good job. Plus, they harmed and destroyed a lot of people's lives in the process. All I'm saying to you people right now is, see this right here? They don't give a fuck about you. They don't give a fuck about you. They don't give a fuck about you. They don't. Mainstream media or fake news, which trigger most of you, I'm telling you, they don't. Their job is not for you. They're not there for you. They're there for their donors. Their advertisers, or their companies that they actually speak for, not you. You are to them expendable, right? You're cannon fodder. You're in the way. Like Trump said, they're not after me. They're after you. I'm just in the way. And I think I won't forget that, because I think that's the case. I think he believes that. But he really needs me to come to the White House. I need to sit down and have a little conversation with him. And I need to say, Don, let's go over everything. Okay? Now, I know there's some things happening coming up in regards to minimum wage. I know some things coming up in regards to now that you're casting your big shadow on Obamacare, what are you going to do? And he clearly put out on Truth Social, when was this? The other day. He was saying that, hold on just a second. I just want to make sure I got it. Yeah, okay, I'm at the right place. He wants to make sure, and I'm going to end with this. He wants to make sure, he put up some information about it. Your posters of the president still bucking around about that. He wants to give the money back to the people. This money that's been going to these gigantic health insurance companies that in turn send some of their money to these Demoncrats. He doesn't want that. He wants the money to go straight back to you. He doesn't. He knows, there's a ton of, the subsidies, whatever the fuck they get. I think I already played this. The BBC Director General and new CEO resigns over Trump documentary editing. Yeah, that happened. What does that fucking say? Top people in the BBC still quitting fired. Yeah, the BBC's going down. Yeah, and he doesn't forget. I mean, I'm telling you, the guy's still as witty as and as sharp as a fucking razor blade. How easy should a voter ID be? Yeah, voter ID is good. They ripped the hell out of our rainforest in Brazil and built a 4-lane highway for environmentalists to travel. That happened. That fucking happened. Can you believe it? Lindsey Graham, the senator, she was fuck you, Lindsey Graham. I could care less what that fucking dude says. Amazon bestseller, Under Siege. That's a good one. Okay, some other stuff. Sleepy Joe in the Auto Pen. Mercy Clause. Yeah, this is interesting. Where Lindsey Graham has just totally changed his tune now. He's so MAGA. Now he's just pandering to Trump as much as he can. But if Trump wasn't around, he'd be back licking the nuts of fucking Big Pharma again, like he was just a few years ago. Yeah, but they're bringing this up. I think Democratic supporters want these people to start talking about this, right? The Democrats bring it up every fucking few months. Anytime they get desperate, they bring up college, healthcare, minimum wage, Citizens United, and they never do shit about it. Like I said, they had the House and the Senate and Obama for 713 days from 2009 to 2010. And all they gave you was Obamacare. And you're going to fucking... And they're not going to do anything. So Obama's going to... Excuse me. So Donald Trump is going to do something about this. Right? They're bringing this up. Fuck you, Lindsey Graham. Okay, so there's that. Okay. Paragon, insure stock prices. Look at that sword. Look at those stock prices. God. It's all right here. The receipts are all right there. Isn't that crazy? Isn't that fucking crazy? Look at that graph. 2010, 2019, 2020. Oh, you were in there too, bro. So be careful. Right? He didn't know anything back then anyway. He didn't even notice it. I don't think he knew. I think this is it here. I am sorry that the American people are being terrorized by Democrats who have decided to shut the government down to make me and other Republicans continue Obamacare subsidies, which have been a windfall for healthcare insurance companies. Yeah, a windfall means a very positive thing for the insurance companies. They get their subsidies, they get this money, they do whatever the fuck they want. And a disaster for the American people. He's right. The largest health insurance companies have seen their stock prices soar, some over 1,000% since the passage of Obamacare. Meanwhile, Americans' premiums have more than doubled, contrary to President Obama's promise. I believe that the money should go directly to the people to purchase better health care and create competition. This enrichment of healthcare insurance companies must stop. It is long past due to lower premiums, not enrich insurance companies. I stand ready to work with both parties to solve this problem once the government is open. Stop terrorizing the American people. Stop pushing failed policies. That's a good idea. So he's bringing it up. Let's see what happens. He wants that money to go back in. When your politicians make their political decisions based on who's given them the most money, we don't have a political system. We have an auction. I've seen this one before. I'm going to leave on this because this is what's going on. That's been the golden rule. That's been our Congress's golden rule for a long fucking time. The Demoncrats mostly. I would say the Republicans are very close second. So this whole thing needs to fucking stop, right? Like I said a long, long time ago, you used to be able to walk into Congress, stand in line, and speak your mind on what's going on. Now you have to have a lot of fucking lobbying money, a process. They made it hard for the average Joe. They made it completely. They don't allow it anymore. Basically, for somebody like if you go to a city council meeting, you can stand in line and go up and talk about whatever you want. You know, the fucking potholes, or you know, there's this guy that keeps terrorizing or whatever, or there's these people that keep dumping their trash outside of their house and burning and cooking fish to them, whatever the case may be. City council means you can do that. They used that process, being able to speak to the committee or speak to the council or speak to those city officials, legislators, judiciaries, and executives. Maybe not at that level. But you used to be able to do that in Congress until it started being fucked up, and now just lobbying, giant lobbying bodies. You know, Big Pharma owns like, I think like a little over half of the offices of freaking Congress. Isn't that crazy? Military industrial complex too, as well. You know. But yeah, so it's these politicians are just auctioned. It's just who's going to pay the most to get these corporations to do what they want, or these people. And remember, the corporations is kind of a loophole. It's the people behind the corporations that create either chaos or prosperity for everyone. That's just bottom line. So don't blame capitalism, because our country is made of capitalism, and capitalism has been working for a long time. And I'm not big on regulating it. I just think that at a certain point, if there's unjustifiable, unfair, and unlawful hurting other people damage, then there needs to be a law. That's it. Pretty simple. Leave it to the states. That's all I have to say. I'm going to go ahead and say aloha to everybody. A mahalo nui aloha to everybody for coming. Aloha, thank you. If you want to come on the show sometime, just let me know. I'm easy to get a hold of. I'm probably the easiest person to get in touch with. And the reason why that is because I've had doctors on, I've had lawyers on, I've had political candidates, left, right, up, down, liberal, Green Party, you name it, all kinds of shit. I had Tea Party members back in the day. You know, from all different types of spectrums, different industries, different types of cultures and politics. But the thing is when my channel was shut down for 4 years, and I was moving fast. I was at 700. I was just at about 768th year. I think I remember the number exactly. And now that I haven't been on, I've gone down dramatically, because a lot of those people are gone, or they've been canceled, or who knows what, or just, you know, left and went totally Demoncratic. But it's important that, and I'm getting this from like Rogan, and I'm getting this from like Jimmy Dore, and I'm getting this from a lot of people that have been there longer than me. We need to have these discussions. We need to start talking. We need to start building on what we need to do to make sure that the American people come first. Not Bibi, not Israel, not Ukraine, right? Not every other fucking country out there. Take care of us first, period. I'm not asking for handouts. I just want there to be a way for people to do what they need to do to take care of themselves. And I found it, and it's in the business that I'm doing now. I want you to join me. I'm with a company called Universal Wealth out of Peoria, Arizona, next to Phoenix. And they're just amazing. I also work with Rock Financial Group. And there's also some a little debt consolidation, what's that called? Student loan debt forgiveness that I also do. So if you're interested in any of those things, let me know. And I also still work full time, because I have my benefits with a college around the corner. Anyway, if you have any questions, concerns, comments, or anything, just let me know. If you want to come on, let me know. We'll schedule a time and we can talk or do whatever.